After weeks of silence from Gunna and his team after snitching on Young Thug in the YSL trial, we have finally been given an update. While Young Thug's battling in court, trying to beat his court case on his own, on February 22nd, Gunna's lawyer released this new statement regarding Gunna's snitching. As DJ Academics tweeted, Gunna's lawyer puts out another statement saying Gunna ain't no truth teller and he won't help put King Slime behind bars. Y'all believe it? With this statement attached, and I quote, comment on article from Gunna's co-lead defense counsel Steve. After reading Miss Wick's outstanding, insightful article, I am obligated to say for the record one more time, Gunna has never been interviewed by or cooperated with law enforcement or prosecutors in the RICO court case. Nor have his attorneys proffered information on his behalf. What was said at his Alford plea hearing was solely resolved on his own case. It cannot be used by the prosecution against Young Thug or any defendant. Now, this is a very smart statement by a very smart lawyer, and it's gonna go over a lot of people's heads. So let me break it down. Now, in the statement, it states, Gunna never cooperated with law enforcement or prosecutors in the RICO case. Now, in case you're unaware, the case Gunna snitched on Young Thug in was not in the RICO case originally. It's actually a separate case where Young Thug and Gunna were pulled over in one of their vehicles, and inside of the car was a firearm as well as narcotics, and Gunna claimed in court the firearm and narcotics are not his. So if they are not his, then this lands on Young Thug in the court's eyes, as he was the only one left in the vehicle. Now, the statement is true. Gunna did not snitch in the YSL RICO case, but he did snitch in this case. As here is Gunna snitching in the courtroom.
You agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in front of you.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocarbons and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL to the detriment of my community. YSL again. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
If you're a fan of Young Thug, leave a like on the video. I'm curious how many fans are watching today. The statement from his lawyer is the second time we have heard from Gunna since his release from jail, as Gunna has already tried testing out the waters on social media just to see a response from fans, and it didn't go as planned. After the Gunna snitching video went viral online, DJ Academics tweeted, YSL is having a beef on Instagram. Gunna came out and tried testing the water, claiming YSL the label, and even said free Young Thug. Everybody in YSL is looking at Gunna like, buddy, you're the reason that he's in there, as they all unfollowed him right after, even Young Thug's sister as well. So this all began when Gunna, quote, tried testing the water, as he tweeted on social media, rest in peace Lil Keed, I love you and I miss you twin, referring to the late past rapper Lil Keed, who is a YSL member. He sadly passed away while the YSL RICO trial was only a week and a half in. This means that Young Thug and Gunna never got to share any love for him on social medias, as they were behind bars at the time, to then later posting on his Instagram a picture at his at-home studio with the caption stating, people acting like they switching to his side, but it's only one side. Hashtag YSL the label, free Young Thug in Yak. Now, this Instagram post got a lot of backlash from YSL members that are staying true to YSL, and Gunna is now realizing the aftermath of snitching against the Kingpin. YSL King Mondo replied to Gunna on Instagram, I ain't gonna bite my tongue. Baby boy, you don't need to be saying nothing about YSL or free Young Thug after what you said and did. You really got some nerve. This even led to, on January 14th, none other than Lil Baby and Lil Durk, who previously have been best friends with Gunna for many years prior to the snitching video, they have now cut ties with YSL rapper Gunna, as DJ Akademiks shared a snippet of a new Lil Durk song. In the Durk lyrics, it says, "What happened to Virgil, he probably gonna tell," referring to the collab song that Lil Durk had with Gunna titled "What Happened to Virgil." Lil Durk has not spoken publicly about Gunna snitching, but him sneak dissing him in a new song likely proves he's not a fan of the idea and doesn't want to be near him anymore, as this even led into Lil Baby making a very surprising move as well. As Akademiks tweeted, "The streets are saying Lil Baby unfollowed Gunna today. Y'all think the industry giving Gunna too much of a hard time for being a truth teller or nah?" As this is groundbreaking news. Lil Baby and Gunna have been best friends for many years. They grew their rap careers together, all under the wing of Young Thug, so this is Lil Baby's way of staying true and loyal to Young Thug after this incident. While Young Thug is going through one of the hardest court cases to beat in the entire world, here's what Gunna's been up to, as someone caught footage of Gunna driving around in his drop top, enjoying his supercar in Carefree World since snitching on Young Thug. This reveals that Gunna wanted to save himself and no one else. As Gunna knows how serious this court case has become, he needed an out or he would be looking at life in prison alongside Young Thug. As with the video of Gunna going viral driving his supercar, the rapper would also go to post this on his Instagram story. 3 laughing emojis, practically laughing at the situation of his clip going viral for him outside driving. The entire YSL snitching timeline is something very important to know if you're a YSL fan, as the day after the YSL mansion raid, when the YSL RICO trial began, 28 members of YSL were arrested, and allegedly a few of them started snitching walking through the jail door, as this was mentioned during the first court hearing.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's King Slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
Now, that court hearing was a few days after the first arrest of YSL members, including Young Thug and Gunna, as YSL members went straight to creating what's called a proffer deal, meaning members would snitch on Young Thug to get released from prison or receive a lesser prison sentence in the end. On average, 1 to 2 people have been snitching on Young Thug ever since they were all arrested. With the evidence stacking up against Young Thug, that is actually when Gunna ended up snitching on his brother. Gunna snitched and gave all of the evidence the feds need against him, as since December 14th, the YSL trial has been looking very grim, as we saw new evidence reported against Young Thug, as we also saw reports later being released of Young Thug looking very defeated in court recently, with this attached. Now, that video went viral online. Court officials also added to reports stating, "Notice in the video clip how Young Thug is alone in the courtroom. No other YSL members being told the new charges and evidence proving that he is being targeted the most out of anyone in this case." Now, this surprised the entire world, making the case even more serious, so serious to the point that Young Thug's sister, who likes to stay out of social media drama, came out and spoke about the clip. Young Thug Thug's sister told us to realize that Young Thug is going to court daily, 8 hours a day, people he called brothers turning on him and snitching against him. This is a very hard time for him, as it seems every court hearing that Young Thug is involved in daily, people are either snitching on him, setting him up, or affecting his future in this case. As very recently, a YSL member in court tried allegedly setting up Young Thug for something serious, as it was announced that Young Thug tried pulling something in trial in front of several cameras and security guards. Young Thug was quickly caught in the process and will be facing consequences for this soon. As it was announced, exclusive, my colleague Mark just obtained surveillance video that shows the moment prosecutors accuse Young Thug and his co-defendant, Khalif Adams, of conduring a hand-to-hand deal in court. Here's the footage. As the Twitter thread continues stating, prosecutors say the surveillance shows Adams walk to where Young Thug is seated with his attorney. He then drops narcotics in his hand. A deputy then confronts Young Thug and he turns over the item to authorities. When deputies searched Adams, they found him in possession of narcotics wrapped in plastic and food seasoning to conceal the odor. According to investigators, Adams was taken to Grady Hospital after he appeared to ingest other items of contraband in an effort to conceal the extent of his crimes within the courtroom. Prosecutors filed a motion asking the court to make a finding of fact that the court was delayed on January 18th, 2023 because of the actions of defendant Williams and defendant Adams. To the final tweet stating, an attorney, Keith Adams, for Young Thug responded to the allegations that his client was involved in the deal, with this audio of Young Thug's lawyers reacting to the allegations of this video released online.
The reality is, Mr. Williams had nothing to do with what went on in the courtroom on yesterday. One of the co-defendants, on his way to the restroom, attempted to pass something to Mr. Williams, who immediately turned it over to the deputy.
He did not know it was allegedly Percocet?
Did not know. Well, we don't know what it is. Did not know what it was, turned it over to the deputy right away. The deputies took action. The individual who had the contraband, not Mr. Williams, was taken into the back.
Now that was Young Thug's lawyer detailing that Young Thug knew nothing about this situation. He didn't know that this YSL member would try to slip him anything and things in that nature, which I honestly do believe 100%. If you think Young Thug had any involvement in this, please think otherwise. If you're a fan of his, subscribe to the channel. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.